Acting?
Acting.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting.
Hola. Buenos dias.
Trying to do your fingers. Wow, this is flat.
What?
Yeah, it's flat.
Disappointing. I have a coworker. He does not like bubbly soda, so he'll purposefully get bottles of soda and shake them up until they become flat. Stresses me out. I don't understand it.
Just drink juice, bro.
Just drink the damn juice.
It's fine.
They have unfizzed drinks.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello.
Hello.
Another day, another life, another story to tell.
Yeah, I feel like this is our first true weekend of summer weather. It really did feel like summer today.
Yes. Yes, it did.
It broke the 80s, I think.
High 80s. It was like the last time I looked at the weather, it was like 88 degrees.
Yeah.
So it was very nice. Everyone was outside. The sun was out. Oh my goodness, what a lovely day. I went to get water ice with my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How'd you spend your Sunday?
I had a rehearsal, so I was inside the theater for like 3.5 hours or so. And then we went out to eat. So that was nice though. But
where'd you go?
It's like this bar close to I don't remember what the name was.
Okay, like a local place. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a local place. They had like a live band, so that was interesting. It was cool. It was like summer vibes. It really did feel like, we're back.
Yeah, like that's legitimately how it feels right now. It's just very, very refreshing after the longest winter we've had in a very long time.
And you know what's funny? I don't remember if I said this last week or if I said this to one of the actors in the play, but it's a much more enjoyable experience to drive into rehearsal when the sun is still out. Okay. When in the winter time, it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. So I'm going to rehearsal and it's already dark. Okay. Then I got to stay for like 3-4 hours. And I'm like, why? I'm like driving with a smile on my face. Why do I feel so great right now? Like, oh, the sun.
The sky is still blue. What is this? Yeah.
Fantastic way to
it really does change something, like something chemically in the brain. It's phenomenal.
You froze, so I'm guessing I froze.
Just a little bit, just a slight lag.
Oh my God.
Chat, if you saw that. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh well.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you said you had something come up at rehearsal that got the gears turning.
Yeah, so we're like maybe week 3 of rehearsal, so still very early on. However, we finally, like this next rehearsal, which will be tomorrow, will be our last rehearsal blocking things, which is great. I hate blocking because it's tedious, but it is so necessary because we've already been through this, but how you're blocked really does inform how you say the lines. You have to justify why you're saying stuff, but also vice versa. Like your blocking should also be informed by your lines. So anyway, but I was sitting there thinking, so not off book for anything yet. We still have like 3 weeks before we're supposed to be off book, but I'm going to try, to get off book as early as possible.
Right. So you have as much time as possible to practice being off book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But, so I was thinking when I was sitting there that I still hadn't done enough work for myself on the character, because in the moment and line by line, I can react as the character. I can do that. But it's not enough to just react line by line or react scene by scene. You still have to have the continuous understanding of who you are as the character to know that, would my character actually care about what's being said? Or am I just reacting because I know that this character is expecting a reaction? But what if that's not what if my character doesn't care about what they're saying? Or what if my character is not pleased by what they're saying? I can't just give them a smile because they're excited. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm still working through that. And I like was saying to myself, I was like, I have to get a better hold on who I am deciding this character is,
Yeah.
because me smiling at every positive thing that another actor says is not enough. It's not justifiable just because I'm expected to smile. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have to
It's
really
like,
know.
is it a truthful reaction that you're
Right.
having?
Because a lot of this play, and this will be such a challenge for me because of the amount of lines, but also I'm on stage the whole time. So a lot of it is reactions. And
Mm,
that's what our directors keep saying to us is that when someone else is talking, you may only have two lines on the whole page. And it's like that for a lot of the play because there's six principals. So someone's all, you
mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep enforcing, or not enforcing, but they keep encouraging us
Emphasizing.
to, you're sitting next to someone that's not talking. You guys need to be having some type of conversation with your eyes or some type of reaction because that's where the funny comes in. The funny doesn't come in because the character says, "Oh, I actually didn't read this book." That's not
Yeah.
funny. The funny thing is looking at our reactions to see, well, I wasn't actually expecting them to read the book, so whatever, it's whatever for me. Or the other character is super pissed because they didn't read the book, but they don't have lines
Right.
that say they're super pissed. So they have to
Right.
show that, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I had that thought for myself today that I really have to do more work on this character because saying the lines and then reacting to someone scene by scene is not enough. There has to be some sort of continuity, which is
Mm-hmm.
the character, which is the decision that you make. So I'm definitely going to sit down this week and I'm going to add on to the notes that I have for this character and just write out line by line how I feel about certain things,
Mm-hmm.
what the character's goal is, all of that stuff. Go more in depth than what I've
How you
already.
feel about other characters, how you feel about like
Yeah.
your cast, like, you know, like the characters that you're interacting with, because
Yeah.
that'll also influence.
Because there's like a line, spoiler alert, in the play where towards the end, I basically take my mentor's job and
Mm.
I have to tell her that.
Mm.
This is after she's had like a whole mental breakdown. So for the whole scene, that started the scene, I'm like, so I know this in my mind. So how am I gonna, I'm not gonna sit the same because yesterday I didn't have her job, but today I know I have her job. So I have to sit differently, right? Because
Yeah.
I know that this is uncomfortable that she doesn't know yet. Also, I know that I've made up my mind to say something to like all of these things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like, I really have to do much more work than what I've done already, but it is third week. So,
Yeah. No, but that's I love that you're bringing this up because that is like literally kind of the similar experience that I had last week when I was doing that background work. And like, so even though, and what I liked about the project that I worked on, and even though it was background work, the director really emphasized that like we were still an important part of the project because, and I found out it's called multicam. Those
mhm.
kinds of like sitcom shows are called multicam shows, and that's what he's essentially doing. But he said that because of that, our reactions are incredibly important. So with that in mind, I created, kind of to your point, a backstory for my character. Now, granted, I didn't do this until like the day of, so ideally, if I had more time with the project, etc., I would have done more with it. But I kind of made it so that my character showed up and she was a hippie. So what does that mean? That means I'm peace and love. Am I a vegetarian? So if someone's talking about cooking meat, like at one point they were talking about cooking hot dogs or whatever, like would I have a disgusted reaction to that because I'm a vegetarian? And then one of the principal actors who like was an official character, officially named character, she like we were talking about it and she's like, oh, that would be so cool, like why don't we be friends, like we know each other. We created like in that moment a mini backstory for each other so that while we're reacting to other things that are happening in the scene, we are making that eye contact, we are having reactions with each other throughout it. And so like I love that you're right, you are bringing awareness to that because it is an important part of the story. So mm,
Even just like I'm trying to think of a better example because not even just like when the thing that sparked that moment for me
Mm-hmm.
was because I was reacting to things, but just because someone says something, that doesn't mean I'm always like, yeah. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would always do that because active
It's the
listening
default. Yeah.
is, and I do that to people in regular life because whether or not I care what they're talking about, I want them to feel like they're being heard. So I do a lot of
Yeah.
that. Like I shake my head, or I like if they say something and I'm like, like I do that automatically, but that's
Right.
not real. So that is definitely a performance that, like at work, I do that a lot to show that I'm
Mm,
active listening. That is a performance. So,
yeah.
but I had to tell myself, I'm like, okay, well, people are not always going like this in response to
Mm-hmm.
something that someone's saying. Like you can agree
Right.
with them without shaking your head, or you can agree with them without smiling at them. And I was like, I'm doing like a lot of smiling, and I just don't think that it's as truthful. I want people to see that I am reacting, but that's not the right approach that I should be having.
Right.
I should truly find Lily and how she would react to that and go from there. So I think a lot of that has to do with also the fact that we're not off book yet. So
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I,
And once you're off book, that'll definitely make a huge difference.
yeah,
You'll have
I
more
don't have
opportunity.
the lines, I mean, yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, because
So, so,
yeah,
mhm.
I was just gonna say, we're also really good at like listening to each other. So like if this is my script, when someone else is talking, like I don't have it like this. I'm watching them. And one time we all got wrapped up in this one of the other characters, he has like this long kind of monologue and we're all just like really into it. We're watching him and we were like, oh wait, someone else has a line. Because we were so
You were paying
like,
attention. Yeah, you
we're
were into
connecting.
it. Yeah.
But that's important too for us to connect like that, even just as
Yeah.
actors, to develop some sort of a, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Interesting. So I
Yeah.
want to ask, because I know you said like so one of the things you're doing is you're going to go back and you're going to write line by line. Like, are there any other techniques you're going to use to try and flesh her out a little bit more?
You know what? I don't know if this is taboo or not, but I found, because by the way, with community theater, I'm really not kidding when I say that within like a 50, 100-mile radius, another theater has done this exact same play, at least within the past year. So I found a couple of actors that have played this character
Hmm.
in this general region, not even in Pennsylvania. I think one of them's in a different state, but I was like, I kind of want to reach out to them and see what their take on Lily was. Like, I would love to hear
Mm.
how they think or like what they put into it now that they've done the performance and it's over and they have all of those thoughts of like doing the performance for several weekends in a row. Like, I would
Hmm.
love to get more input because unfortunately, with this play, I haven't been able to find as much information on it online as far as like performances go. And usually I don't watch someone else's work because I don't want that to bleed off on me and me try to be them or whatever.
Right.
But because I'm not as like I had never read this play before, I really am trying to get more to pull from
As
and build
yeah,
on, you
yeah.
know?
Like you want to have the as thorough an understanding of it as possible, it sounds like.
And honestly, I really want to know how Black other actors have played this character.
But can I ask you this like why do you feel like that is an important question to ask? Because I yeah.
Because it's addressed a couple of times in the play.
Okay.
Because like literally one of the lines is I have the script, but it's I'm not gonna pull it out. But basically, so she's from Akron, Ohio.
Hmm.
And so at one point, someone says, yeah, Lily, like you shouldn't really judge a book by its cover. Like you would know that. And she's like, how would I know that? And the guy goes, well, because you're, and she says, because I'm from Akron, Ohio. And it's like
Hmm.
that play on and then the character says something else. And she was like, yeah, like I have a lot of Akron American friends. Like there's several jokes like that
Okay.
that like how I'm interested to see how other people play that
Mm.
and also how they establish Lily. in her blackness
Hmm.
without that being the focal point of because that's never the goal for me,
Yeah.
is to just be a Black character. I'll like that's because that's not how life is. I'm
No,
not just
no. It's just one layer.
right.
Yeah.
So that's really what I'm interested in. So I'd love
Okay.
to see how elegantly other actors have done it. So
Hmm.
that I don't play so much into whatever, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I think that part of, to me, and now granted, I've never done theater, so everything
Hmm.
I say, obviously, grain of salt, or grain of sand, whatever the saying is. But to me, I think that's the interesting part of like, because you never know how much, like, there could be one actor who does it and totally plays it like literally the only difference between her and a white woman is that she has brown skin. Like that would like
Hmm.
that's the only difference. And then you could have
Hmm.
someone who leans into like doing, I guess, the blackisms. I don't really know how else to say it, but like, like
Right.
leans into that. And like, and I
Yeah.
think that's where the beauty of the art form comes from, is like because you can get those two different interpretations. And maybe that's
Hmm.
kind of where like you turn around and that's how you lean in, you as the actor lean into yourself and your own brand and how you show up just in life in general.
Well, that's
Um,
why I want to have conversations with people that have portrayed this character before.
yeah,
I would love to get all of the input. How did you do it? How did you do it? How did you justify it? And that way
yeah.
I have a spectrum of information to pull
Eh,
from, you know?
why not? Yeah,
From
yeah.
there.
I
So
mean,
with
you hear it all the time. Cold people love cold emails. People are, especially artists, because I'll think about it, like how many people are
yeah.
actually reaching out about these things. So when they do have someone that
Well,
reaches out to them,
and also these are actors that are like
they're
on
community theater actors.
yeah, and
Yeah,
these are not like I mean I DM celebrities actually pretty regularly, but not for acting advice.
and just like to shoot the shit.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do, is to reach out to people that like have had like a great impact on me
Mhm.
creatively or whatever, and just like write like really inspiring messages to them. I love
Mm,
that.
that is fun. That is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll reply to stories just because I'm like, they're never gonna see those. And if they
Oh,
do, oh
yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But no, I think you should. I think you should. And like you said, I mean, it's because you're just collecting data. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Nice. I
we
like
should
it.
see.
But that makes me think of another conversation I'd like to have.
Hmm.
So, because of this role and because you're like you want to know how other people have approached it and how much of like in this specific role their blackness they brought to it.
Hmm.
And it makes me think of what Coleman Domingo said in that one video on Instagram that we both watched, and he was saying how not to limit yourself, and like when you show up, like don't walk in thinking, oh, this is what they're going to see, this is what they're, this is how I'm going to be cast, so let me just lean into that. It's like, no, like walk in there like knowing yourself, knowing who you are as an actor, and just like going for the role regardless. And I thought that was interesting because there was a podcast that I was listening to for about working at being a working actor and for working actors. And I really like the podcast because it's very business oriented. It really like talks about the business side of acting. And there are like courses that the podcast hosts have and everything that I'm personally interested in trying. But anyway, I say that to say I listened to the episode, and this particular episode was called when a talented actor is not booking, or why talented actors stay invisible specifically. And she said the opposite of what he said, and I thought that was very fascinating because she said if you're going out for a role, and she used the example of when she was younger, she went out for a role as like a street kid, and she's not a street kid, she's from like a nicer suburb. So when she went out for the role, she didn't get the role. In the casting, they told her, you don't fit this, you're not this person, like why are you trying to be something that you're not, kind of thing. And so she said the opposite of like, don't do that, don't like lean into what you know, what you are, who you are. And I thought those were just two very interesting contrasting opinions. And I know what I think, but I wanted to hear what you thought.
Well, I think that what she's saying then is that you should never go out for a role that doesn't align with who you are. And I
Mm,
think that's the exact opposite of what acting is. Now, I do think it's different though, because I think what Coleman Domingo was saying in that specific video was that the girl chose that monologue. There was a girl
Mhm.
that chose a monologue about a fat woman.
Fat person, I think it was called. It was from like
Yeah.
a show called Piggy or something.
And I think she said she chose that because that's what she thought people saw. But I don't think
Hmm.
it's about, I don't think what he was saying was that be whoever you want to be who you think you are, and then show up as
Yeah.
that person. It's
Mm.
you can decide how you want to show up in the room. And however anyone receives that, the piece is in knowing that you made the decision. And I think
Right.
there wasn't peace. Personally, for me, there wouldn't be peace in a situation like that because I would always know, one, I'm giving you guys what you think, but one, you don't know that. And two, you're taking away your decision on how you show up in the world. So
Yeah.
for that specific clip, he was talking about picking a monologue that presents you in the way that you would like to be presented. So I feel like you can do that, but the problem with what I guess she was saying was that because in that example, then if we could apply that to ourselves, does that mean I should never go out for a Shakespeare role? Like that's not,
Mm.
I don't respectfully, I think that that was bad advice
Mm.
because you can book stuff. I can book things that say that are asking specifically for a Black character. I can book the role of Carolyn LeCount because Carolyn LeCount was a young Black woman in Philadelphia in 1860s. But I'm not going to say to myself, I can only go out for something like that because
Mhm.
I am a Black woman. Like I feel like that's count. And also, that's not what
Well,
acting
I
is.
do want to say in her defense, she wasn't saying only go out for those roles, but she's saying like don't be surprised when you're not like that. Like so she wasn't saying only go out for those kinds of roles. I do want like in her defense. I do want to clarify that. But sorry, continue.
I just think that that's a bad message because, like, of course, everyone is not, all of us were not selling drugs, okay? So if we go out
Right.
for a drug dealer role, it's not respectfully, again, the problem was that she wasn't showing up as that character because how would
Right.
they even know that you're not that? How would they know that? Your job as
Right.
an actor is to show up as that character.
And that's what I thought was interesting by what she said. And so my thought is I think there needs to be a balance of both. I think there you need to, like you said, I love how you put it of you choose how you show up for the role, because that is absolutely 100% I think the best way to show up when you're showing up for an audition or a self-tape. But to her point of you're more likely to get cast for roles if you lean into your brand. But then that also made me curious because I'm like, there are actors out there who grew up with silver spoons, yet they can play, street urchins. As, I don't know if that is that PC. I don't know. I don't know anymore. But like, like they can play like people who live on the streets. They could play people who are billionaires. You could have someone who grew up working class playing like ultra rich, ultra wealthy. Like, so it's like, and that's where the art comes in because it's like you as an actor, but maybe as a working actor and maybe for newer actors, it is a bit easier to lean into your brand and what you quote unquote know how to show up as and like who you know yourself to be presented as. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah. I don't like that example she gave. I think that's a poor example.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It
So
was it was interesting.
by
It was an
her
interesting take. It was an interesting take for
with
sure.
that specific situation, by her logic, they were looking for a drug dealer to show up or a street kid to show up. If would they hire a
Right.
street kid?
Right. Exactly. And it's like, how
Oh,
would a street kid even have that opportunity? It's like, they could obviously, like, let me not even put that out there, but like, it's like, but the chances of that specific type finding that role, what are we looking at here? So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an interesting take. And it was fascinating to me that she said that versus what Coleman Domingo said, which was, like I said, the complete opposite. Um, and I really like how you put it. It's just like choosing how you want to show up.
that's all it is. Because I mean, listen, you can get into a situation where you have people that define you by something, and
Hmm.
that may be a good, like personally, I think I haven't been through it, but if I were to be able to be typecast in something that got me jobs year after year, I have a job. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't be mad at it. I would be mad if I had no choice in it. So that's why it's important for you to show up for whatever role it is you want to do, or however you want to brand yourself. It's important that you make that decision, because if it sticks, you will be stuck with it.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's like you can take advantage of certain opportunities, but I mean it's up to you. And I mean, you're an actor. Like there's several different, you don't have to stay in one thing.
Right. Right. Exactly.
You don't
Yeah.
ever have to stay in one thing. You can drop down a level probably and do whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. You can make it in the big blockbusters. And if you decide that's not serving you, okay, well, you can step down to indies, you can step down to student films, and I'm sure you can have the pick of the litter, whatever it is that you want to show up as. But
Yeah.
I do think it's important that you have a discussion with yourself about who it is that you want to be and who it
Hmm.
is you want people to think you are, and go from there. That's where it should
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. And that's it really starts at knowing yourself. Just like knowing who you are and knowing yourself and knowing your values and where
Hmm.
you align. Because I mean ultimately it does come around and show up in the roles that are accepted and that consistently show up in your repertoire.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Cool stuff. Well, have you watched any performances of this week? Oh, well, I said that horribly. Have you watched any good performances or
Yeah.
notable performances this week?
Oh my gosh, I've been binge watching Greenleaf, which
Oh, how's that?
oh, it's so good. I watched the most of the series a few years ago, and I double back this whole last week. And
Mm.
it's a heavy hitter cast. Like literally, like Keith David, um, um, Lynn Whitfield,
Mm. Okay.
Meryl Danger. There's so many people like in this cast that are freaking amazing, and it's a heavy show. It deals with a lot of heavy stuff. But
Yeah.
one of the I love this actor, Lamont Rucker. He's been in like Tyler Perry stuff, so you probably know him
Oh,
from
okay.
that.
Well, let me see if I can look him
He
up.
was the sheriff in Why Did I Get Married? The sheriff that ended up marrying Sheila,
Oh, I
like the
haven't
good
watched that.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
I love him.
oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Yes,
By the way,
yes.
he was in Brown Sugar, which came out 20 something years ago. So he's been
Okay.
consistently working.
Oh,
And I'm just
he's in
like,
this, yeah.
yeah, I didn't get introduced to him probably until like 10, 15 years ago. But anyway,
Mm.
so he gave one of the best performances that I've seen. So they basically find out that their uncle was guilty of some real heinous things. And someone is showing him a video to the laptop. So we don't see what's on the laptop. The camera is like right in front. So we just see the back of the laptop and we see his face. So it would be like if the camera is like right up here. And
Okay.
so he's watching a video of one of the victims of the uncle being interviewed and telling, what happened. And it's a very emotional thing. You can hear the girl crying. You can't see it, but you can hear it.
Mhm.
And this character, Jacob Greenleaf, he has a daughter that is around this girl's age. So obviously, him now finding out that his uncle is responsible for victimizing this girl who is around the same age as his own child,
Mhm.
he's really upset. And his facial expressions, it was one of my favorite moments of the show. I had to rewind it because his character doesn't get upset, angry, I should say, a lot. And also, I've never seen this actor really portray true hatred in any other role than in that 3-second clip where you just see his face like he's seething. That's the first time I've really seen seething anger, and I felt it.
Really?
And I was thinking to myself, he didn't have anyone to really act to. He had like his wife, I think, right next to him, but he's
Mhm.
looking at a laptop, and who knows if there was really a video on the laptop or if they added it in post. But the camera's right here. You can't hide from that. That's
Right, right.
that's acting. And wow, just from that few seconds alone. And then it's funny because
Oh,
the next time we see him, when he talks to his daughter, and he's like trying to tread lightly, and he's trying to ask his daughter, like, did this happen to you, without saying it?
Yeah.
But he's not angry in that scene, but he's very like he's a concerned parent. So it's such like, I thought it did so much for his character arc, that episode, just those few seconds. Because up until this point, basically no one believes the uncle did anything. So that's kind of
Oh,
like,
interesting. Okay.
this is the moment where
Oh,
he finds out. They knew some stuff was alleged.
but they didn't have any like physical like proof, evidence, confirmation.
Yeah, so
Okay.
by the way, everyone's reaction to them finding out it was real was phenomenal. Keith David is another one of my favorite actors. Are you kidding me? Are you crazy? He's
Yeah.
OG. Oh,
Yeah.
I love him. I love him. But yeah, so that was definitely my performance.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. I love those moments in shows and movies when the reaction is so good you have to rewind and you have to
Yes.
rewatch it.
Literally.
Like those are the best moments.
And it's like, now that you know kind of what that feels like for an actor, you know how
Right.
important
Right, exactly.
that moment is.
Exactly.
And I'm like, he probably isn't even watching anything. Like, they probably literally put that interview in post.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just how it works. You don't always have everything. Like, they're like, oh,
It,
well,
it lined up perfectly. Yeah. Yeah, it's movie magic.
yeah,
So,
crazy. So,
nice.
yeah, what have
Okay.
you been watching?
So I went to see the new movie Obsession about a guy who has a crush. Now, first off, the main character is just a piece of shit. Let's just get it out there. He is a POS, a coward. But we're not going to get into that because that's not the point of this. The point is, the movie is about a young man who has a crush on his coworker, and instead of having a pair of balls and telling her, he decides to use this charm or whatever to make a wish to have her fall in love with him. Unfortunately, of course, it backfires and she becomes obsessed with him. And they never fully clarify what it is in the movie, and I wish they would, but I understand that wasn't the purpose of the movie. Um, but I say that to say this actress, she played that role so well because the switch to when she becomes this like entity, this other person, is so sharp and distinct, and just her performance throughout the entire film is just really really good. But the scene when he first makes the wish, she's acting so erratically, it's like literal chills. It's chilling. Now it's also like funny, like it's like really, it's a fun movie, it's really really fun.
Mm-hmm.
um and it's really silly. Like the my entire theater was like laughing at several points in the film because it's just like so over the top and ridiculous. But her
Mm-hmm.
commitment to it, and just like, I mean, we've said it before, like horror is just one of those genres, like you have to bring a lot of energy and you have to keep that energy out. Like it's physically demanding on the body because the body doesn't, I mean, Brian always says it, the body can't tell the difference. The body
Right.
doesn't know that this is fake. Yeah, you're reading it, like, yeah, it's all set up, but like when you get your heart rate going and your breath going and like you're having like real physical reactions to your environment, your body
Mm-hmm.
thinks that's real. So it was really
Mm-hmm.
fascinating to watch her performance just throughout the entire film. Like it was just really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're in the mood for some fun, it's not really scary. It's a little, like I said, her performance makes it a little creepy, but it's a really fun
No, girl. No, girl.
movie.
That
No.
I didn't see whatchamacallit. What's that what was it? The is it a W? What is it?
Oh, weapons.
Yeah, I didn't see weapons. So I'm like,
But Weapons is like, well, Weapons was also kind of a dark comedy. But this was like
yeah,
more goofy than like Weapons was like clever funny. This was more
yeah,
like goofy funny. Um, but it was in a good way. And well, I thought it was
yeah.
good. I had a really good time with it. And like I said, the actress, she ate that role up. And like you could just tell like she really trained very hard for it. And well, actually, let me not say that. Well, I'll say it. It highlighted because it's not a perfect film. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fun film, but it's not a perfect film.
Hmm.
And the writing wasn't the best all the time. But
Okay.
even with the okay writing, she really
Mhm.
shined.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was good. It was fun.
That's the talent for real.
Yeah, it is. And I'm excited to see. And it's funny, I was watching the entire movie and I was like, she reminds me of Claire. She just,
Really?
yeah, like I was like, I could so see Claire playing that role and just like,
Respect.
but like her and the actress were very, very similar in
Yeah.
like their demeanor and like their presence. Like her demeanor and her presence reminded me of Claire. And she also like
Yeah?
seemed like very like short and like a like, you know, like a little shorty like Claire. Like it
Yeah.
just, so that was fun.
Oh, she'll be here Friday, right?
She's
This
supposed,
Friday.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God,
Oh,
already?
shit. Right? I
Where
think
did the
Friday
time go?
before
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
She said the 20th, maybe, perhaps, something like that. And that is oh, that's not my passcode. Hold on.
22nd?
Friday's the 22nd.
I think I have
So,
first day of storytelling on the 23rd.
do you? Oh, okay. Oh, what's that face for? Oh, girl.
Ask me if I've memorized one story yet.
Oh, T, no. And didn't they give you new stories?
Yeah, I have one done. But I mean, I have all of my old, it's not as like intense as before. I have like 7 old stories that God forbid if I don't memorize the new ones, I don't think
You at
people,
least have.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have half of
Like that.
it.
Could you imagine someone coming up and being like, "Excuse me, I thought you had 2 more stories added to the roster this year."
Girl, they don't care out there. They
No way.
barely, occasionally will have people that are so excited that they're like, tell me every story you have. And that's fine because we do keep track of that. Like
Yeah. Oh,
how
that's
many
cute. That's
stories I
fun.
held. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have really an effect on anything. They just like to track it for, I
Why
don't know.
not? Yeah, data.
And I do have my personal goals for the day. So, but yeah, I mean, people more often than not don't want to hear a story anyway. So it's not like it's fine.
You're like, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But
So,
when they do hear the story, it's worth the experience. That's
let
all
me
I'm
tell
gonna
you about
say.
my Stoiben. Hey. Yeah.
It is worth the experience.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was fun. This was nice. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Or no, for everyone else it's a Thursday though. So
Thursday for y'all.
bye, you
Don't worry about
guys.
it.